So right now I am an MMA fighter. I was the amateur light heavyweight champion in New Zealand in the Shuriken promotion. I train probably 2 to 3 times a day. I started actually did karate when I was a kid. My dad put me in karate because I was getting picked on in primary school. So I moved to a smaller town when I was younger, and I was fairly big, I guess, for a younger kid, and people wanted to test me. And I always got picked on. Actually, I got picked on at my older school as well. I got picked on when I was a kid. People always wanted to try stuff with me, and yeah, I always used to get in fights. I went to Whangarei Boys High School, and that was it was different because again, then you become the small fish in a big pond when year what's that, year 9, I guess it is. So yeah, went there, and the bullying problem there was rife. It was really big, and it was a big thing compared to primary and then intermediate, and then it was massive there. There were young street gangs getting formed and stuff, and guys from this neighbourhood and guys from that neighbourhood. There was another kid who I shoved because he was inciting a fight, and I didn't like that. I didn't like fights. I didn't like people picking on nerds or picking on anyone for no reason. Someone was running their mouth, it's a different thing, but for no reason it was silly. So I shoved this kid because he fell on the ass. He got embarrassed. He ran off and got a screwdriver, I think, and then he came back. This is when I was like 12, and like he was screaming outside my class, and I went out, and my teacher pulled me back in. I think the kids would come in with a predisposition towards it because obviously their parents had conditioned them to be a certain way, to be a tough guy, and you be tough, and then they come in and they be tough to someone else, and they assert their dominance or whatever that way. But then I guess it does cultivate within the school as well, because you've got 6 different guys who all have that same mentality, and then they're in the same class as their mates, but then there's other kids with the same mentality in another class that then they don't get along with. So yeah, it all came to a head, I guess. I believe that we're animals, and animals can test for different things, growing up, and I believe physical combat and physical violence to an extent, especially if it's agreed upon between 2 people and it's not 6 guys smashing on one guy, and it's got an end to it. Yes, you win. You're right. I accept that, and that's the important part, is that they accept the loss. It's a fundamental part of humanity that's now being lost because of, oh no, use your words, Jimmy. You're better than them. You're better than that.